Let's get to our panel right now. Joining us with more from Beijing, Zhao Hai is a research fellow with the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Down the street from our studio, right here in Washington, D.C., Derek Scissors is a research scholar with the American Enterprise Institute. From Buenos Aires, Martin Redrado is a senior economic advisor with the World Bank and former president of Argentina's central bank. And with us in the studio, Hung Tran is the executive managing director for the Institute of International Finance. Thank you to all of you for joining us. Zhao Hai, let me start with you. So this is an important summit that's going to be taking place in Buenos Aires. On the official agenda, the big things are focus on development, infrastructure, and food security. To Martin Redrado. And Martin, Argentina, no doubt, wants to show off its new market-friendly economy to the world at this G20 summit. This is a big opportunity for Argentina and its people. What impact is this going to have on the country?
It is more symbolic, the impact that it will have on Argentina's population. It is going to show a clear willingness of this country to be a responsible member of the international community and to broker modestly, if we can, to get a deal among the whole nations. I expect that they can focus because they've tried to be all things to all people, so it's better if they can focus in terms of how do we get on with the world economy and how do we tackle the main problems that we have in front. If they achieve a consensus of that, that could be an important step in the G20.
Welcome back. We're talking about the G20 set to kick off in Buenos Aires in just a matter of days. Lots of economic conversation, but sidebar meetings are driving the conversation, with the US and Chinese presidents expected to meet amid a growing trade war between their respective countries. Still with us, Zhao Hai is a research fellow with the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Derek Scissors is a research scholar with the American Enterprise Institute. Martin Redrado is former president of Argentina's central bank, and Hung Tran is with the Institute of International Finance. And I'm going to go to Martin. Martin, just before the break, Derek was telling us that it's not the communique that's very important, it's what's being done, it's what these countries agreed to implement at the summit, at the G20 summit. What will you be looking for from the summit?
Look, in my experience, I have participated in 5 of these summits of central bank governors and Minister of Finance from 2005 to 2010. The key issue is focus, and I hope that the leaders discuss what can be done in terms of fiscal and monetary policy coordination in view of what and when could be a next downturn for the economy. I have to remind that the G20 was very effective in after the 2008 financial crisis, after the Lehman Brothers collapse, how all the countries in the world come to coordinate monetary and fiscal policy. Well, in this relation, the issue on infrastructure and how do we bring the private sector, that is to say private pension funds, hedge funds, private investors, into financing the infrastructure needs that we have around the world. And this is true for the US, this is true for Germany, for Japan, for China, for Argentina, or for Brazil, or for South Africa. So there is a common ground there. So how do we bring money into the infrastructure sector so that fiscal policy can also be a push in order to avoid a future downturn?
Martin, let's talk about Argentina. What are the risks for Argentine President Mauricio Macri at this summit? There have been demonstrations in Argentina in the run-up to this summit, demonstrations against joblessness, against poverty in the country.
Well, G20 always bring demonstrations from people that are anti-globalization around the world. We've seen that in Hamburg last year. So what we expect here, and for the government, it will be a success to have a quiet summit where if there are demonstrations, they are peacefully and democratically done, as it should be done in other countries. But clearly we are looking for a time of no violence, and that each can express its own views and feelings and demonstrations, but in a peaceful way. That would be a success for the Macri administration, and also, again, trying to show that even within the difficulties that the Argentinian economy has, it has left away the path of isolation that has characterized the country in the first years of this century, and that is willing, no matter what, to be an active member of the economic and international financial community.
That's all the time we have for, but the conversation continues online. Chat with us about this or any other show on Twitter. We're at CGTN America. Or visit us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/CGTN America. I'm Anand Naidu in Washington, D.C. Thanks for being with us.